Hello, welcome back everybody to Fly Like a Girl, Fearless and Fabulous. It's time for me to give a little update on Tommy's progress. So, I went into some big explanation in a previous draft video, and I don't know if I'll include any of that in this one, but we'll see. Anyhow, if you're interested in flying, you're interested in women in aviation, you're interested in Piper Tomahawks, you're interested in Australia, flying, holidays, whatever else, make sure you subscribe, and if you want to get notified of new episodes, hit the notification bell, and please like this video if you like the content. So, $12,000 annual. Now, to be fair, when I bought this airplane, I knew that the first annual was going to cost, and I expected $10,000. So 12 is not so bad. Although a lot of people have exclaimed to me certain exclamations when I tell them that, because they didn't expect it to be that. But anyway, it was 12,000, and what's disappointing about that 12,000 was that I still can't fly it. So first of all, let me start with all the good news. I knew there'd be issues. I didn't know what they would be, but I knew there would be issues. So turns out the carburetor was really in a bad state, and the carb heat wasn't working properly. It was working, but not properly. So we replaced the carburetor and we fixed the carb heat issue, which was a slipping cable. And the performance difference was astounding for a little tiny Piper Tomahawk. So maybe the carb heat was partly on. I haven't asked the mechanic because we had a huge disagreement about other things, namely what I'm going to talk about in this video. But yeah, so flying back under permit, I noticed quite a difference in the performance. So that's good news. We got to deal with a lot of fasteners that really were starting to look pretty untidy from point of view of very mild surface corrosion, flash corrosion, but we replaced them anyway. We stopped a little bit of very beginnings of corrosion in various places that I felt were important to be dealt with. We put some ACF 50 all through the fuselage. Anyhow, the mechanic told me a couple of interesting things. I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I'll tell you that the first thing he told me when I worked in a workshop made me think to myself, this guy's telling fibs. It wasn't about the corrosion, but as soon as I challenged him on the point and pointed out a few things and showed a bit of evidence, he backed down. So straight away that was bad feeling for me. Now, I'm not saying anything about the fellow. I'm just saying that set up a situation where there was a complete lack of trust. So anyway, then he tells me my wings will have to be replaced. So I asked him to come up with a strategy to examine them, inspect them, do whatever was required to keep the aircraft flying if that was at all possible. We went round and round in circles, and I just felt like he just didn't want to do it. I sent some information to Savvy Aviation. They told me that my approach was, in their view, the correct approach. They were concerned about the approach that he was suggesting. I couldn't get any resolution. So I brought the airplane home, and I've literally just minutes ago got off the phone from the guy who did the avionics, and we had a long discussion, and he said to me, no, I agree with you. Here's what we are going to do. So basically, he's coming on Friday to do a thorough corrosion assessment. That's going to be followed up by a second person, basically the person he works with, and probably the person who'll ultimately sign it out. They're both lamies. So US people, we call them lamies, licensed aeronautical maintenance engineers. So they're both going to inspect it, do a thorough corrosion assessment, and then work out the strategy that will, if possible, keep the airplane flying, and then do something in the future about whatever might need to be done. Or if that's not possible, then look at an engineering order to do some remedy, which is what I tried to get the other guy to do. And if that's not possible, if the final solution is that the wings need replacing, which I seriously doubt, then that's what we will do. But my goal is to put that off for a little while, if that's possible, because of the financial impact this year. I don't want to have that financial impact this year. I'm happy for it next year, but not this year. In essence, my view is that if there is any corrosion in there, it's minor. I've had a thorough look at it all, and potentially the airplane will be allowed to fly as is, or maybe it will need some remedy somewhere, or who knows. But I suspect that we'll come to a much better resolution, and hopefully that means that Tommy will be flying before Christmas. Fingers crossed. It's going to be 2 weeks before this assessment is done. Then who knows what's going to happen after that. If it needs repair, it'll probably be months away. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to start her up and give her a run. I don't like the idea of ground running airplanes. I don't think they get warm enough. But I do have cam guard in there, and I would like to circulate it around. So I'll take it out and try and get it as hot as I can. And we'll see you next episode.